Alright, I'm on a mission. I've got 1 week left here in Georgia before I head back home to New Mexico. And probably the #1 bird that's been on my list for quite a while now is the pileated woodpecker. And I've been on eBird and I've found a couple of sightings here in this location within the past couple weeks. I'm gonna find it, and I gotta get out today. It's gonna be probably the last good day because it's supposed to rain for the next basically week. Welcome to the East Coast, right? I heard him. I didn't hear the woodpecker. I didn't hear his call, but I heard him hitting that tree. The pileated woodpecker is like the biggest woodpecker I've ever seen in my life. They hit hard. They hit a lot harder than all the other little downy and hairy and all that stuff. So I'm fairly confident it's him. Maybe like 300 feet that way. I'm gonna go ahead and put my mask on. I wore this stupid blue shirt underneath today and I totally forgot. I got my ghillie suit too in my pocket just in case, the ghillie blanket. Alright, let's go see how many joggers we can scare the crap out of today. More importantly, let's hope that woodpecker doesn't see me. I know, I need a lens coat. Don't remind me. Right up there, and he actually doesn't seem to be too bothered by me. I'm gonna stake out here for a minute. He's kind of staying on these 2 trees right here. He's totally tearing bark off, and I don't think he even notices me. I'm just gonna lay low, hang out here for a few minutes, and paparazzi him. Lady with 2 ginormous dogs walked by me over there and the woodpecker took off. But the sun came out just long enough and I stayed still just long enough. I got a couple really cool shots that I'm very happy with. Especially for my first and probably only encounter with a pileated woodpecker for the foreseeable future. So I'm just a little ways in the forest now. Right over there at the lakeshore, I heard 2 kingfishers. One of them's pretty close, but I've never had very good luck with kingfishers, and I just don't think I have the patience to sit there and wait for them today. Maybe I'll get lucky though. They've been flying back and forth, so I might get something. I did hear some mallards down there, and there have been some grebes, and that hooded merganser that I've been after have all been hanging out with mallards down here, so let's go check it out, see if we can find any cool ducks. was just about to set up a time lapse and get these cool clouds moving by and tell you guys how it's getting cloudy, and kind of write off birding for a moment. And just when I did that, black vulture, pied-billed grebe, kingfisher, all right here. I don't even think I need to get dressed up or anything. There's so many people around and they're just spooking the birds back and forth. The kingfishers are flying back and forth. This vulture's circling over something. This pied-billed grebe is just doing laps right here. So I'm just gonna stake this area out, see if I can shoot that kingfisher. I got one shot so far, maybe two shots that are okay. But this gray weather is making it really hard. So 0.02 of a second to catch him going super fast. Auto ISO 5.6, which is wide open on this lens, and +1 exposure compensation. That way I don't have to boost the shadows so much in post. I might have to even go higher than that for exposure compensation because of how contrasty and gray it is out here. But I'll make it work. I'll get something, hopefully. Alright, so I switched to the 1D so that I can get more burst mode for these birds flying by, and so that I can do that time lapse that I just mentioned. So if you guys are new to the channel, I definitely do a lot of wildlife on this channel, but I also do a lot of time lapses, and I do a lot of time lapses for my business, my photography business. But if you guys like just like landscape and nature and time lapse stuff and astro stuff like in general, also in addition to wildlife, you should definitely consider subscribing, because I have all of that stuff and I love making time lapses. I didn't bring the right gear for my time lapse though. I didn't bring any of my filters because I was doing wildlife. I should have had a filter so I could slow it down a little bit. It'll still come out good for the purposes of B-roll for this video. But yeah, the mallards are over there. They're swimming back there. I'm gonna try to get some footage of them. I got one shot earlier when the sun was still out this morning, and well, it is still this morning, but when I came out a couple hours ago, like super early, the sun just came up and I got a couple of good mallard and pied-billed grebe shots before I started filming. So if nothing else, and combined with the pileated woodpecker, if nothing else, I'm definitely happy with today in terms of birding and even birding photography. All right, one more thing that I think is kind of interesting. I know, like, generally when you're doing wildlife photography, it's kind of a drag to be like around a lot of people, and usually, I hear that kingfisher again, he's getting mad. Usually that's the case. However, today I think it's actually helping me out, because if you can see all around the lakeshore, there's just people walking everywhere now, and there's dogs, and this little inlet here where the lake kind of gets narrow, the kingfisher is like going back and forth between them. See, here he comes. You hear him? I don't know if you hear that, but that's the kingfisher. And he's just getting really irritated that there's people and he's flying back and forth. So that's actually kind of helping me. It's also pushing the mallards. Oh, there was a great blue heron that just flew right over my head. Here he goes. Wow, see all these people. There he is. Sorry, gotta go. I did get him. That heron just landed right there. Oh, there he goes, hold on. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure if I got him. It's not optimal because he's flying away from me and there's a crappy background. That might be doable. We'll see. The mallards are right over there. They're coming closer. That kingfisher is still going back and forth, so I'm just gonna stake out here right in the middle of the trail. See if I can get him. This thing is a thorn, a thorny bush. Does not feel good. There's that blue heron again. Ah, that was two of them. They just flew into a big tree. Now they're chasing each other. I really wish I had pointed the camera in the opposite direction right now. I might have still got him. That could have been really cool. I don't use burst mode much. I'm not a fan of spraying and praying, but when you're doing birds in flight, there's no substitute for this 1DX2. I've been toying with getting rid of it lately because I just don't use it that much. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. All right, let's go see if we can get closer to those blue herons without scaring him off. Bunch of geese. And here comes another lady with her dog. At least I don't have my headset on. Oh, they're gonna come in and land. Of course they're landing right out of frame. Now, God, they're loud. There goes the neighborhood when all the geese show up, huh? Oh my God, they're loud. That mallard doesn't look too happy. There's that kingfisher again, did you hear it? That was a pine warbler, that real high trilly. Those geese are just so obnoxiously loud, it's not even funny. It is kind of funny. I just saw something really big splash and jump in the water, and I was like, what the heck is that? It was a dog. It was a freaking golden retriever. I think he's going after those geese. So much for the keep your dogs on a leash at all times rule. I don't think people follow that very much around here. Alright, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. It's getting late. I think it's probably noon already. I've been out here since 8. So definitely need some second breakfasts. Missed 11Cs. And lunch is coming up. Afternoon tea. I got a lot of food catching up to do. I'll go edit these images. You've probably already seen them, but I'll put everything else here. So thanks for joining me. If you guys like this stuff and you want to see more, definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got new videos every week. A lot more good wildlife stuff coming up when I get back to New Mexico. Going to Bosque del Apache. I go there a lot and I do workshops there. So if you're interested in doing workshops, wildlife, nature, landscape, time lapses, all that stuff, check the link below for my workshop stuff. I got a lot of good stuff going on. I'll be putting out more local New Mexico workshops here pretty soon for Bosque del Apache and some other places. And I'll keep you guys updated on the videos as well about the workshops and what's going down. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Tempted to go shoot those geese in the face, but they're not much fun if they're not doing anything. And there's a bunch of dogs around now. All right, let's go.